to a new video tutorial series of operating system. In last video, I will explain what is process and how it's managed by operating system. In this video, I will explain how process actually work in operating system and what are their arguments and how does it work. So the first thing is command line arguments. Command line arguments are inputs you give to computer. When you start it, they let you control the program behavior without changing its code. Example, like if I want to print a file from my desktop in C++, so how do I print that file? I just run a program to print a file. Simply the file name is document.txt. Print file, I just put print file or printf document.txt in command line. So document.txt is the command line argument that telling the program which file to be print. So like there are multiple files in my desktop, how my uh, process knows which files to be print. So we have to give the document.txt. Document is the name of that file and txt is the type of that file. So this is command line arguments. The next thing is text section. So the text section is where the program code is stored. The section includes all the instructions that the computer needs to execute the program. So if I want to write a simple program with adding two numbers, so my code is integer sum is equal to a plus b. So it's stored in a text section because I write this code. The next thing is data section. Data section contains global and static variables that I already told you about in my previous video. So these variables are accessible from anywhere in the program and keeps the value throughout the program execution. So most of the time we use these variables for like counting, or maybe there are some type of variables that we need to use in our entire program irrespective of functions. So we use that type of we declared those variables as a static or global, so it can be used by any of the programs. So if I have a counter, like I want to count like how many times my code is my function is run by my program, like I want to calculate how many files opened by my computer, I just simply declare integer counter 0 in as a global variable or static variable. It stores the data section, and after my program execute, it will count like 1 2 every time my functions run. It just increase the count, or maybe I just put the definitely it will not increase automatically. I have to put counter plus plus in my program whenever I need to count that functions. Like if I whenever I run that particular function, like for printing files, I just write counter plus plus below the function, uh, and whenever the function execute, it will count plus plus. So like in a separate function of the same program, I need that counter, like how many times, like I want to print how many times the file has been executed. So I just like print that counter, so it will manage my entire program. So we can use the multiple things as well, like if whenever the like if you want to pass uh, like if you want most of the time if you want to pass value, or maybe I will using some value that need to be used by all my entire functions, like for example I want to declare my function which can be executed by like 10 times, for example a for loop that can maximum run by 10 times. So I just in every function I have to put value 10. Instead of that I will put maximum variable on the global. and give the value 10. So, and whenever I use 10 value, I will use, instead of 10, I will use that maximum integer. So this is how it's managed by. Another thing is stack. The stack is used for managing local variables and function calls. So whenever a function is called, its local variable and some control information are stored in the stack. So whenever function finish, the information is removed. So for example, if I want to calculate the factorial of a number, the variable strong storing the current result is local variable and kept on stack. So there are something, and there are so many things, and that can only execute by stack. For example, if we want to, like if a program and we want to check the famous program in C++ to check the equal parenthesis, like all the parentheses have equal, like opening parenthesis and a closing parenthesis. So it can only be like, it's very difficult to do without stack. You can be, but it is very difficult. But if you use stack, it will be like a cup of tea for you. It can be so easy. Like factorial, every time we need, like factorial is like, if you want to calculate the factorial of 5, we have to like multiply by 4, then 4 multiply by 3, then 3 multiply by 2, then 2 multiply 1. This is how we calculate the factorial of 5. So you have so many variables. If you are not using stack, you need so many variables to store the value of the factorial. So with stack, it can be very easy. Another thing is heap. Heap is used for dynamic memory allocation, which memory allocated as needed while program is running. Example, I want to create an array based on user input. Like if there's a program that create a dynamic array depend on the user input. So like if we, in normal cases, when we write a program, if we like want to declare an array of 10 elements, so we just type integer array and give the 10 value in the bracket and declare an empty array. So but if we want to like create a dynamic array according to the user input, like whatever user input in our program, it will create a dynamic array with that size of. So it can be stored by heap, like in C++, this is done by using like integer pointer. Array is new integer and the size is given by the user. So it will declare a uh, input depends on the user input. It will declare a size and it will increase. It can be increased. Program next thing is program counter is holds the addresses of the next instruction of the CPU needs to be executed. Ensures that program runs in the correct order. For example, if the program is running in a loop, the program counter keeps track to the next instruction within the loop until the loop finish. So it's like a program counter, like you can use as a linked list. Like in linked list, we have uh, like in doubly linked list we have a next and previous address of that particular block. So in linked list, it's a set of blocks. So uh, you just keep tracking the address of that particular block and store in the previous block. So this is how it will iterate. So the program counter is similar like that. So if you are like program is running in a loop, the program counter keep track of the next instruction. So it just only act as a single linked list. It will just keep track of the next element and store that location. Another thing is register status. Register status contains the value of the CPU registers. These registers are small storage areas in the CPU that holds data needed for executing instruction quickly. For example, when performing an addition operation, the CPU uses register to hold the numbers that been added and result. So these sections all work together to make sure program runs smoothly, managing code execution, memory, and data efficiently. So this is all the things used by a program and a processes together. So I will explain. I had explained about the command line, text section, data section, stack, heap, program counter, and register status. Hope you understand it quietly. If you not, you can wait for my next video. I will demonstrate with the program and explain it briefly as well. Hope you like my video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much. Stay tuned with us.